youtube.com/MayhewMayhem. That's youtube.com/MayhewMayhem.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I am your host, my name is Michael Mayhew, and I am here with my co-hosts.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg.
What's up, everybody? I'm Dale.
Hi, everyone. It's Raven.
This episode is a continuation of episode 37, just in case you want to go check it out before we get started.
Remember, 30 Minutes of Mayhem is available on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spreaker. All you have to do is search MayhewMayhem. That's MayhewMayhem, and make sure to rate us 5 stars.
To help us to be able to afford to do the show, you can donate to 30 Minutes of Mayhem via PayPal. Just use the email address in the description, 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com.
At least we could tell him you finally figured it out.
So I don't have to shoot myself in the face.
No, you still have to shoot yourself in the face.
Oh!
With Dale Seaman. Oh! You know what?
Challenge accepted.
Women should all view semen as an accomplishment, and they should be proud of themselves.
Agreed.
Because it takes work to get to that. It's like getting a reward at the end of a long, hard day of work. It is an accomplishment. Because I've been in situations to where a female is completely in control of the situation and cannot get me there. She should be embarrassed. Any of them that do get me there, they should feel like they accomplished something. And they should be proud of not only themselves, but they should enjoy their reward. So, where were we? Scariest situation you've ever been in? Somebody was telling something, and I cut him off and told him to hang on, but go ahead.
Penis. Anyways, the scariest situation I have ever been in, I was in 8th grade. It was actually during 8th grade spring break.
I swear to God, if you start telling the one about the guy coming up at the fucking park.
No, it's not that. It was somewhere else. I wasn't in 8th grade at that time. I was like sophomore. Because I remember because I was 16, I was driving. No, so I was at the baseball. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was in 8th grade. It was during the spring break because I was gone that whole week.
Is this back when you had your blonde hair? Your blonde tip?
No, I didn't have it. I didn't have it in 8th grade. I had that in 9th grade.
Okay, so you still had that.
Christ, he used to have blonde hair.
Yeah.
So you had the Three Stooges haircut still.
Yes.
Okay.
Three Stooges hair.
The mo. The mo.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it was the mo.
I had a bowl cut. Okay.
Now, when you say blonde hair, do you mean
I
like...
had it spiked up with the blonde tips.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like, did you mean like bleached fucking Eminem style blonde hair, or
No,
like more natural?
I wasn't like that. It was just the blonde tips were. Always had my hair spiked up and I had the blonde tips, and every time I'd lay it, like my hair would lay down, it just looked like my dad would call me a skunk, because it was just a stripe of white. So.
Okay, so you had the mo.
I had the mo. Yes. I was with my cousin's grandparents. Not my grandparents, but his grandparents on his dad's side. It was me, my cousin, his grandparents, and they have a campsite up in Jekyll Island, which is in Georgia. It's right off the coast of Georgia. It's actually just over the border, like going into Georgia from Florida. They've always gone. I've never been. So I went with them. I stayed with them for that week. Like I said, they had a campsite out there. It was cool, all fun and games. But on the way back, I was riding with. There was 2 different vehicles that we took up. We had his grandfather's truck and his grandmother's minivan. And in the back of the truck, we had all the bicycles, all the outdoor recreational stuff in it. And of course, in the minivan, we had all the clothes and food and whatnot. So I was riding with him. I remember I had this little, if anyone remembers the little pocket casino games back in the day.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had maybe 5 buttons or 6 buttons on the side. I had one of those and I was pretty much playing it the whole entire time. He was playing some ridiculous bluegrass and I was just like, ugh. I'm just sitting there playing this game, my own business, and I feel the tire rubbing up against the grass, and I feel him cut back. I feel him rub up against the grass again, and I feel it come back. We're going down the interstate.
Oh, for a second I
And
thought you said Quebec, like
no,
the province in Canada.
I
Okay,
definitely
sorry
said,
about that. Go ahead.
I definitely said Georgia.
I know, but
Where are you coming up with Quebec?
well, because you said come back and it sounded like Quebec, sort
It
of.
cut back.
Oh, cut back. Yeah, well, it still kind of sounds like it the way you were saying like that. That's why I got confused. I was like, wait a second. I thought you said you were in Georgia. Why the fuck are you talking about Canada now?
I've never been to Canada.
You guys should fist fight to see who's correct.
Sure, I'm correct. I'm telling the
Oh,
damn
he would
story.
kick my ass hands down. I mean, he's in the army. I mean, not the army, the military. He's in the navy.
Now I really want to kick your ass. I'm just kidding.
Hmm.
I'd feel the terrain as he would roll, drive over the terrain, and he would come back to the road, and then he would hit it again, come back, and then there was the time where he didn't come back. He fell asleep at the wheel, and what
Jesus
happened was,
Christ.
yeah, he fell asleep at the wheel. He hit the median. We're doing, like 60, 65 miles an hour. There was no median. It was just a straight ditch.
Hmm.
So I don't even know if we were actually on the interstate or not, if we were on a main highway. I don't really remember. Usually interstates, oh, sometimes they do have them. But for the most part, they got that divider in the middle. But there was no divider. There was no bridge. There was no nothing. There was a big ass ditch. And we hit that ditch and we launched. And we launched into the other lanes.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we launched into the other lanes, and as soon as he hit it, he fucking woke up and cut back, and he turned the wheel back around, and we luckily did not hit any vehicles. But in my mind, I
You was gonna die.
was going to die, more or less. At first, it was just like, holy shit, we're in the air. Holy shit, we landed. Holy shit, there's vehicles. Holy shit, there's a sign. Whoa, we're gonna fucking die. So basically, we went from the left lane to the median, launched into the air, landed, and then back onto the median, and then back into the other lane. All in a matter of 10 seconds? It was the scariest thing I've ever been put through in my life. Still to this day. My cousin said he was actually watching and he could see my hand grasp onto the side of the door. He's just like, I seen your knuckles turn white, dude. I was like, I was scared shitless. What do you want me to do? I thought we were gonna fucking die.
Why didn't you wake him up when you realized he was
I was
asleep?
playing this little video game, man. I wasn't paying attention.
By the time you realized what was going on, you were in the air?
I felt the initial bam, which caused me to drop the game, grab the door, sit up straight, look to see what was going on. By the time I see what was going on, we were in there. I mean, obviously we didn't, fucking Dukes of Hazzard the shit,
Right.
but I could feel there was nothing between us until all of a sudden a land and then from him turning the wheel, and it was dude.
So how far?
Funny, though. No, to more of the story, all the shit in the back, yeah, flown out, but there was people that lived right there on that highway. There was a house right there where we landed, and it was all black people. I've never
Damn
seen.
wet boys trying to
Yeah,
do the Dukes of Hazzard and a minivan.
they ran out, grabbed all our stuff.
No,
No
that's
stereotypical
awful.
thing. They gave it back, but only because the cop showed up.
They literally come out and tried to steal the shit that had
I don't
flown
know if
out
they
of the
stole it.
vehicle.
They were just they fucking just ran. There was shit all up in the middle of the road, so they just ran out and grabbed it. Because I guess the traffic stopped because we were obviously in their lanes. So all the traffic's like, what the fuck? This truck's kind of coming at us right now.
You imagine being in one of them vehicles and witnessing shit like that?
Oh my god, dude. I've witnessed little wrecks in my life, but I've never witnessed anything like that. But yeah, these people came out. We managed to get everything back, but the bikes are all fucking twisted up and shit. Bent. All the frames are bent and everything. Oh my god, dude. Coolers broken. Grills, missing legs and shit.
Now, you said you guys came in two different vehicles, right? Where was the other vehicle at?
It was either next to us in the other lane or behind us. I don't remember.
When I was a senior in high school, there was this boy I kind of liked, and he was a bad boy. And I knew that he was into drugs, all kinds of drugs. And at this point in time, I had only smoked weed maybe a handful of times, and it wasn't something I went after and I needed all the time. It was just was at a party or whatever, and someone handed me some, so I was like, why not? It's a party. I wasn't very educated in the whole drug scene, but I liked him anyway. And one day, at the end of the day of school, he handed me a joint. And I stuck it in my purse and took it home with me. And I don't know if it was that day or maybe the next day, a friend of mine and I were in my parents' garage and we lit it up. And the two of us, between the two of us, we smoked half of it. Good enough for now, you know, we'll save the rest for later. And so we stamped it out and we started walking towards the library in Toronto. And I think we made it like 2 blocks past my house, and some weird shit started happening to me. Like, she was talking to me, but I couldn't hear her. Like, it sounded like I was in a tunnel. Every sound just got amplified, like, I can't even explain, like, what I was sensing. Like, sounds seemed like they came from far away, but the closer they got to me, the larger they were, and then, like, it would hit me. Like, sound was just hitting me, like, scaring the shit out of me, right? And I don't know why, she wasn't affected by it the way I was. She couldn't stop smiling. She thought everything I was saying was hilarious. And I'm like, seriously, I'm freaking out right now. I've never felt anything like this before. And like I said, I had smoked weed before and I knew what that felt like, and this was not that.
God damn, that shit must have been laced.
Shrooms.
Yeah.
It sounds like a shroom trip.
It was PCP.
Ah.
Holy shit! How the hell did?
God
Holy shit!
damn.
How the hell did you not like freak out? That is
I
like,
was freaking out.
that's
Not
one of
just
the most
the sound
intense
thing, but
drugs
like,
you could do.
yeah. And like I said, I'd only ever smoked weed. I'd never done anything else. I've still to this day never done any other drugs except for shrooms. And that was like a mild buzz. But I like was seriously freaking out. And I'm trying to tell her, the girl I'm with, like something's not right. Like I could feel my heart. It was like pounded through my chest and my whole body felt like I was just trembling all over. And I felt like I couldn't walk, but I was walking, and we just kept walking because I didn't know what else to do. And she's just laughing at me. She thinks I'm hilarious. She couldn't stop smiling. I know, I was like, my heart is like pounding through my chest. She's like, mine too. Isn't it great? And she's laughing and strolling, and I'm just like, I need to stop somewhere. And like, we got to the library, and I went in the bathroom, like, splashed a whole bunch of cold water on my face. Like, ooh, you need to cool out, Chicky. You need to calm down. And I'm thinking, I'm going to kill that motherfucker. I don't know what he put in this weed, but oh my God, I'm going to kill that motherfucker. I don't like him no more. And I'm like splashing my face with cold water. And finally, like, I got a grip on myself a little bit. I was still fucked up, but at least I knew, like, you know, this wasn't weed. This was something else. I'd been fooled. I don't even remember what happened after that. I think I went home. I don't remember. But while this whole thing was happening to me, I thought for sure he had poisoned me and I was gonna die. But when I got to the library and I was putting the cold water on my face, I was like, "Calm yourself down. You're not gonna die. It's not poison. It's just something else really bad he put in there." Like I said, I don't remember what happened after that, but I know that the next day, I didn't even know what was in it yet until the next day, or maybe it was like Monday. I don't know if he gave this to me on a Friday, but the next time I was at school and around his friends, they were saying, ha ha ha, and did you smoke that joint he gave you? And I was like, yeah. And I tried to play it off like it was all great. Everything was fine. And they were laughing. They were like, do you know what was in it? And I was like, weed? Like, what? And they were like, oh, you got a dose of PCP, girlfriend, and blah, blah, blah. And how'd you like that? You want some more? And I was like, no, I'm good. And, like, I was so mad. Like, I just wanted to hurt him. What a fucker.
So after the
That was
library,
scary as hell.
you're like, I went home and I don't know what I did, and the only thing I could picture was you ripping a mattress in half.
I know. I was
Fucking
gonna say,
Possibly.
I'm surprised he didn't like rage or anything while
I was
while tripping
raging,
on
though, like,
PCP.
because I was saying I'm going to kill that motherfucker. Like,
No, while
I
you
was
were on
angry.
PCP, because
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
like one of the most common side effects of PCP is that you practically Hulk out.
that's why
Fucking She-Hulk.
PCP and heroin combined, mighty putty. Those
would actually like contradict each other because heroin,
A little bit.
like
Isn't heroin like a downer?
heroin.
yeah, heroin would like complete. Yeah, heroin is like it basically makes you feel numb and like you don't do anything. It's like when people who, smoke weed, they say that it makes them feel good and feel happy and that. When people do heroin, they don't feel anything. Like it literally just makes them numb.
Yeah,
That
basically.
doesn't sound like fun to me.
No, but
Not
apparently
really a drug to be used for fun. Like a lot of people who end
no.
up addicted to heroin are people who had like really rough childhoods or had something traumatic happen to them, like, and they're trying to forget, and it's like
You
the
can't
only
really
thing that.
stereotype everybody that does heroin
Yeah,
into
I
that,
guess
but
not, but it seems to be that like a lot of the people, or at least a lot of the more famous cases, seem to be
People who
like
just
people who
want to
had
be
shitty
numb.
childhoods.
I see that. I can get that.
yeah. So mixing one of like the biggest down, like probably the most hardcore drug is probably without a doubt heroin, and then PCP is like the opposite, the complete opposite of it. If you want to She-Hulk it up, you want to rip shit in half, and you want to beat the fuck out of people and all kinds of crazy shit on PCP, it makes you turn into the Incredible Hulk. So combining the two, PCP and heroin, that's what I like to call mighty putty, because heroin would normally turn you into putty, and PCP makes you mighty. So mighty putty.
I get
Haha, I get it. That's how Billy Mays died.
it.
That's fucked up. Too soon? Too soon? Actually, it was cocaine.
I was gonna
Cocaine.
Yep, that
say,
was almost 5 years ago.
Cocaine and a heart attack, I think, is what done Billy Mays in. But, anyways,
he did cocaine.
Yeah, that's how he died.
I didn't know he did cocaine. I just thought he died of a heart attack. That's what the media wants you to know.
No,
uh,
I heard
yes.
when he first died, I heard it was that
When he
a
first died, you mean
large.
he died twice?
When I first heard he had died,
Thank
that's
you.
what I said, you jackass. When
No,
I
you
had
said when he
first
first
heard
died.
whatever. When I had first heard that he had died, what I had heard was that he was in an airplane and a large heavy piece of luggage fell and hit him like right on the head, and they told him he should go to the hospital because he might have a concussion, and he said no, I'll be fine, and then he went to sleep and never woke up. But then I heard later that that was like false.
Who's
What I
got Jerry
do?
Springer going on in the background or whatever the fuck? That's what I want to know. I can hear a TV, is the whole point of what I was saying.
Oh,
That's probably my kid in the other room. Hang on a sec.
oh,
She's watching some bullshit PewDiePie shit.
oh God,
Yeah,
I
fucking
she's
love
hate
obsessed with
PewDiePie.
YouTubers.
I love PewDiePie.
I hate PewDiePie.
I know
I,
you
Oh
and
my.
Mike both do, but I
yeah.
like.
All he does is just scream obnoxiously into the microphone while like playing video games badly, and somehow that's supposed to be hilarious.
I find it funny.
His target audience, not to insult you, Dale, but his target audience is basically Raven's kids' age, is like 12-year-olds. And
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to insult you, Dale. I'm just being completely honest. That's why I feel like um I can't find I do not find him entertaining in any way, shape, or form. To me, he's the new Fred, and he's annoying as shit. I
Yes,
I cannot stand anything that he does, and the fact that
and
he's the face of YouTube makes me fucking physically ill.
it
There's so
pisses
many
me
other
off
ones too that
too
she won't like.
because like basically he's like the most popular Let's Play channel on YouTube, and
He
it's
is
like there.
actually he's the number one channel period across
Yeah,
the board.
and it's like, oh my God, there are so many other people on YouTube who are way more talented than he is, who deserve more recognition than him.
Like 30 Minutes of Mayhem, bitches.
That's not my channel though.
Whatever, you know what I mean.
It's Mayhew you God.
He was gonna say stupid. The question is, what was he gonna follow it up with? Did you hear that too? He was
Mhm.
working the word stupid out there, and then he changed it. But
I think probably the scariest situation thing for me that ever happened was the time right after my family had moved into our current house when, and I shit you not, a girl got fucking stabbed to death right outside our house.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I'd
it
flip
was only a few months after we had moved into our house. Like, we had moved in January of 2006. It was July of 2006. And I remember Scott had said that there was he had randomly looked out his window of his room, and he saw all these people gathering around on the street, and he told us about it, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? and apparently like people are like, "Oh my God, this girl's been stabbed," and it's like, "Oh holy shit!" And we just moved in here, and somebody already got stabbed in our front, like right next to our house. Then of course a few years later we also had like fucking like bullets coming through a bullet come through the window of my brother Luke's old bedroom, and one of Luke's old friends robbing us, robbing Luke of some of his video games and other crazy shit like that. And yeah, my mom
That's
still kicks herself about moving us up here. I think the fact that somebody got stabbed to death outside of our house, like only a few months after having moved into it, is probably the scariest thing that's ever happened. Because it made me think to myself, oh holy shit, what if that happens to me?
Did you ever find out why the girl got stabbed?
Not exactly.
that's
Apparently, what had happened was that because they reported it on the news, apparently the girl had been walking down the street with her boyfriend, and this car drove up next to them, and in the passenger seat was this other girl who apparently the girl who had gotten stabbed had gotten into an argument with, and the girl in the passenger seat yelled at the other girl to come here, and she wanted to talk to her, and so I guess she went over thinking, maybe she was gonna patch some things up or something, and then all of a sudden, like, the boyfriend said that he didn't see what happened, but apparently, all of a sudden she like flinched back and clutched her gut, and the car with the other girl in it just sped off, and the girl turned to her boyfriend and said, I've just been stabbed," and then like collapsed on the street, and that's when
Now, did she
the
die?
whole like,
Did she end
yeah,
up?
she died later. Like an ambulance came and took her to the hospital, but she died, I think, that night or something. I can't remember. She didn't last very long. She was like she had some pretty serious internal bleeding, if I remember correctly. And they found and arrested the bitch who did it. They found and arrested her, and the guy who was driving the car, who was her boyfriend.
Now, not to make this about race, but knowing where you live, there's like this weird divide when you're leaving
They
your
were
neighbor.
both white.
Let me. I'm trying to get my joke.
I know, but I
I'm
was
trying to get
just
my
gonna
joke.
say they were both
He
white.
ruined it.
When you're going through your neighborhood, there's this divide all of a sudden to where you're literally like, nice white neighborhood, ghetto, one block. It's literally like you're going through like stop signs. You roll up, you're like, nice white neighborhood. Next stop sign, still nice white neighborhood. By the time you get to the next stop sign, you're in the middle of the ghetto, and
Nothing but
uh,
white trash and gangstas everywhere.
yeah, and it's weird. So I'm not surprised that there was a stabbing in the general vicinity of where you live. So these were white folk that done did stabbed each other.
Yeah, because if they were black, they would have shot each other. Oh no, I'm just kidding.
That was actually a pretty good one, Greg.
Oh, what the?
Sorry to any of our black listeners, if there are any. I don't fucking know. I mean, I don't even know if anybody listens to us. Period. So whatever. But no, seriously, I'm not a racist. I hate everybody equally.
Our statistics are going up. After I release this episode, they'll probably go down. But um,
You can remove that line if you want.
no, I'm gonna make it number one racist podcast. I'm just gonna let Dale do the entire thing.
I got more. We can bust out my offensive jokes here.
No.
Offensive time.
No, we cut that.
No more,
It
no
it
more
never
offensive time?
it never made it into a single episode because they all sucked.
They did not all suck.
The segment as a whole sucked. I'm not saying the jokes sucked, but the segment as a whole sucked.
You hear that, Dale? You suck ass.
You can go to hell for all I care, Greg.
Hey, at least Dale was good enough to have his own segment.
That's true.
Bitch!
Actually, Ryan was the only one that had a successful segment, and Ryan's no longer on the show, so fuck him. How about that? Ever been in a messed up situation you should have spoke up about, but you didn't, and now it's too late, and you feel awful about it because you're a piece of shit?
Back when I was in Cub Scouts, but I then went
We know what
into.
happened then.
You
But
remember
I
that
then
zipper
went
theory
in.
he was talking about?
Yeah, the zipper theory that I was talking about, you know,
Oh God! Please know more about the zipper theory.
the skin zipper theory. Now, like, does that have to anything to do with like is circumcision involved in that, or does even one who is not circumcised have the skin zipper taint area?
You're the
Because
one who was talking about it. You should know.
well, I'm circumcised. That's what I'm saying is that only like a circumcised thing, you know? Because when you're circumcised, it looks like they took two different penises and sewed them together. You know what I mean? Because
No.
they remove the extra, and the skin's a slightly different color, so it looks like two different dongs sewn together. And that's my thing, is like that you got that mark and whatnot. And so the question is, does the skin zipper of the taint, is that just a circumcised thing?
I don't know, and I don't really want to like.
Investigate.
I don't want to investigate that line of thinking. So
Dale, do
let's.
you have any idea? I mean, I'm sure you've seen enough penises in your day to.
I don't know, because like some of them are different though.
Well, yeah, the uncircumcised dongs look like fucking sea cucumbers.
Anyway, eventually I also ended up going into Boy Scouts. It was the second year I decided to go to the Boy Scout camp that they had every July, somewhere out in the middle of buttfuck nowhere in
And that's what
Ohio.
Yeah,
But
so in buttfuck nowhere, they did some butt fucking.
yeah, pretty much. Anyway, while you were there, you took like classes about, various things. One of the classes I took had a dude with Down syndrome in it, and like I had seen him around in that. I didn't know this at the time, but apparently, like the dude was like 32. Okay, I thought he was younger than that, but apparently he was 32, and apparently I remember, and it was during this one class, the goddamn kid with Down syndrome like fucking grabbed me while I was sitting on the bench at the picnic table, threw me on the ground, and began
Split.
jumping on my back.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say that he opened your your skin zipper. So, but
But yeah, I basically got beat up by a
You
kid
got
with
beat
Down
up.
syndrome,
You got beat
and
up
I
by a
didn't tell
retard.
anybody about it for years because I felt more bad for him. I felt like if I told on him, he'd get in like more trouble than if
hang on,
I had.
you didn't get beat up by a kid. How you got assaulted by an adult with Down syndrome? He was 32 and beat your ass, and you were how old did you
Okay,
say you were?
2002, I was 12 going on 13. So
Okay,
he was like 20 years older than me.
so you got you got your ass beat by an adult with Down syndrome, and honestly, the thing about it is, I'm glad that he didn't open your skin zipper, but what I will say is, I wouldn't I don't know what I would have done in that situation, because like if you've ever been like hit by somebody even one time, but if they hit you multiple times, at least to me, I start to rage. The fight or flight thing.
I don't give a shit if you act like an asshole. I don't care if you do have a mental condition. I'm still gonna fight back. But at that time, I felt bad, so I didn't want to like try and fight back. So I just took it like a little bitch.
At least they didn't pull down your pants and smack your ass and then open your skin zipper. But anyway, so
You're not gonna stop talking about that, are you?
no. That does it for this episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I have been your host. My name is Michael Mayhew, and I have been here with my co-hosts,
Greg.
Dale.
And Raven.
Don't forget to check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and donate to us on PayPal so we can continue to afford to be able to do this. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And later, fellas.